Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Krashy, and today we are starting off a solo queue jungle game with Khaimera with no item to start. Now I'll explain that here in a second, but I recently put out a video talking about what could be the new meta build for Khaimera, and honestly, it's already gone, right? Like, that build is already probably done for because I just did not see the true strength of Kingsbane, and now seeing all the carries building it, seeing other classes start to build it. I did a bunch of testing last night. I did a bunch of trying things out on my stream, and it's the truth. Kingsbane is like absolutely ridiculously broken. But why am I starting with no item? Well, if I show you here in a second, the only 350 item start item that you can get for Kingsbane is a longbow, and that longbow is not going to really increase your clear time, and it doesn't get you any closer to any of the physical side components like the saber that you would want to have, like damage wise, on Khaimera. So I'm just going to not start with an item, so that way I can go straight into, you know, saber into bloodletter. So yeah, it's going to kind of make my early game weaker in the sense that I don't have like an item to, you know, gank with or anything. But the reality is, if I started a short sword, that would be a longer hold to get something later, or I could just hold on to the gold. So it's kind of like an economy based strategy where I'm like playing my own economy a little bit, and I think that that's okay, but something you have to know, right? Okay, let's see if we can maybe get in here for this gank. They probably have this warded, but I think that this could be a really good thing here. Nice, we get kill on the support, which is like not the best thing in the world, but that's okay. It's not terrible. We may be even able to go straight for blue side here. Now they do have a Shinbi jungle, so I'm kind of surprised that this is still here, because I figured Shinbi jungle would be blue side starter, but she might be started my blue side. It actually looks like she's in the off lane, so we'll just go ahead and smack him up and we'll run out. Give him some time to run by. Okay, so now we can go steal more jungle. Okay, so Shinbi's probably going to take my blue side jungle. I think that's probably a pretty safe assumption here. But yeah, we're really just rushing the Kingsbane. And now the rest of this build is actually a little bit different as well. It's not just that Mutilator was replaced. We do have a bit of a difference in this build in total. So I'll have to show that to y'all. If Shinbi wants to turn and fight me, I don't think that was wise, I'll be honest with you. Well, now that she's here. Okay. Let's chase her down. Very nice. Killing the jungle. This is getting a little messy, but we just stick with it. If we die here, it's not a big deal. Alright, we kind of kite out. Thank you so much for following that. That's huge. Huge heads up awareness from the Bellica to get me out of there. Huge play by the Bellica. Alright, so we rotate out of there. Very nice. I could actually back, or I could actually just try to go get some on my blue side. I don't want the Shinbi to respawn and go straight from my blue side. And I'm not really helping much with the river buff. Some games I do, some games I don't. It really just depends. But I do definitely appreciate the Bellica there for helping out. So we're just going to really focus on farming here. And then we're going to go back and buy some items. I find on this side of the map that it's kind of hard to consistently get your blue side because you really want to like play around the Fang side. So like any opportunity you have to like quickly get this, even if it's at like a slight inconvenience, I think is worth it. And with Khaimera, like my health being low is not a reason not to get it, right? That doesn't matter at all. So we're just gonna rip through this side of the jungle, we'll base, and then we'll be back on field. And you can see clear time wise, like we're not like drastically impacted or anything. I don't think I'm going to use my hunt here though, because there is a Fang technically up. So I want to have that up just in case. It's probably safe to use it. I don't think the Shinbi's going to run over there and rip it. But, you know, it's just a conscious decision I'm going to make to keep a hunt in the pocket. And then I'll use, you know, my second charge whenever I get it. But my red side's coming up. I've had a nice, good early farming session. Which puts me really close to my wild, or a lot closer to my wild. I'm like halfway there to wild, and we can just finish this jungle up and go to base. All right, so we're gonna work on bloodletter, maybe even a saber. Composite bow can kind of come last. I mean, it does get some damage on hit, but we'll just go bloodletter to saber. And now we're back on field. We can look to sweep out some wards. I feel like I need to be a little bit more proactive at sweeping out wards sometimes. But we'll grab this red buff. and maybe look for a gank. They've got some really good vision down on right side of the map, so red buff will be nice for ganking, and we'll go from there. We'll smite that. Let's take a look and see what's going on over here. All right, so now here's where I can look to sweep out wards. If they do have anything, I'll be able to take it down. If not, I might be able to get over here in a bit. So she saw me for sure. She knows I'm here, which might give them a little bit of opportunity to collapse in on me, so I need to run out. I need to run out. I don't think we're going to be able to keep him alive. Big rotation from them. Nice follow-up, but they did get the duo lane down, so that's a little bit damning. They're probably going to push this wave in. Let's see. If I could get my 6, could be huge here. I think I have to just go for them, because it is just a few of them, but they're low. Trying to look at the Shinbi, obviously. We can just poke at this, take our time with it. The Shinbi can fall down there. Oh, I'm silenced. We got it, though. We got it, though. Very nice. I think that was way too ambitious of them. I'm going to be honest. I think that was way, way too ambitious of them to go for that. They just didn't have enough of a reason to go for that. There wasn't enough of us down. That's just way, 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 way too aggressive. It was a good silence coming out from the Django. And well played by the Belka. Belka's been playing this game really, really well. But we're getting close to our Kingsbane. We're going to look to pick that up. And luckily we were able to secure that one, because I was indeed silenced. We're going to go ahead and finish this camp out here on the edge. I already have enough for my Kingsbane on my back, but we'll go ahead and finish this camp up on the edge just to get it working. And then we'll look for our blue side, or maybe look into going into more ganks. But right now it's 8-3, so this is already going super, super well. But yeah, the focus of this build, it's not too far off from the last build, but the last build was much more, and this was the Sky Splitter build as well in the previous patch, was much more about setting up your percentage HP into Ashbringer. Now we're pushing the Ashbringer back because the focus of this build is healing. So what we're doing is we're going Kingsbane, which is a lot of sustain and healing, and we're going into Bonesaw, which is again a lot of health and sustain and healing. So we're really focusing more on like a healing build now, because it does really, really good damage, like considerably high damage, without like it's not, you're not missing damage on the percentage HP essentially, because Kingsbane is incredibly strong. So that was my original thought. I thought, you know, oh, there's no way that Kingsbane's going to be able to keep up with say Mutilator, but it actually does. Now Sky Splitter I think would definitely out damage Kingsbane from the percentage HP perspective, but it's not necessarily the best item I don't think on Khaimera anymore, because it doesn't come with any sustain. So Kingsbane does really, really high damage and has really, really good sustain, where Mutilator does pretty good damage and has okay sustain. So I think Kingsbane is just truly like that overtuned right now, and like that's something that we have to like really consider. Honestly, we could maybe dive this. Not necessarily. Nah, he's too low. He's too low. But with Shinbi's red side jungle up, I can just look to focus this for a little bit, and then maybe pinch in on mid. We lost someone over in the duo lane, so duo lane's getting a little bit worked on. I could probably help them. Yeah, we'll just rip this side of the jungle, get something out of it. I might even go for the mini prime. Not really sure where their team is. I see the duo lane, but where's the rest of them at? There's the Countess in the mid. Ooh, okay. Well, if you want to fight me here, this is not going to work out for you. You have a 0% chance of killing me here. Okay, we take her down. I can maybe get to the Sevarog. If I don't jump into this fight, I might have a chance, because he's going to slither away like a snake, right? Yep. Alright. I need to get out of the tower range first. She can't fight me. You just can't fight me. There's just not a chance. Not a chance. Kingsbane is just too strong. Kingsbane is literally just way too much sustain. It's so strong. Does a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright, I've got my full jungle up. We're going to go ahead and rip this green off the field. We get a little bit more, and now we're just rolling. We're buying 6-0, and all we have is the Kingsbane. We're going to go ahead and get our Brutal Axe here as well, because I just love having double cleanse. It's super, super strong. And we're going to go hit our... Actually, you know what we're going to do? My red is up, but I see the timer on the Fangtooth. So what I'd like to do is get my blue, get the mini prime, go to Fangtooth with it. So I can carry some of this strength pretty deep. And this may not be a very long game, but I probably showed off the build at the beginning because I do have this one mostly planned out. I think the last slot item on this build is the one that's open. And I'm still figuring out the order. If I'm being honest, you know, you could take the build order with a grain of salt because I'm still figuring that out myself. But what I'm thinking mostly is you set the foundation with your lifesteal omnivamp items. So you go Kingsbane because it's really, really strong, and then you go into Bonesaw because it's got a lot of health and really, really great sustain. And then you're going to carry that into Ashbringer to permaspam your Q, and then you'll carry that into Draconum to increase your healing and get some armor. So that's really what I'm thinking of it for now in terms of order. I might shift some of that around. It's just hard to say. I actually don't even think I'm going to smite this because I'm not taking any damage. Well, I'm really glad he didn't take that from me. I'd have been sad. Ooh, is there any chance? Yeah, we just rip her off the face of the earth. Oh, hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Alright. Yeah, we're huge this game. We're absolutely massive. 5 seconds on this. We're going to sweep for some wards. Just to free this up a little bit. Yep. We're just going to rip straight through this. She doesn't have her Wild Hunt. Yeah, Shinbi Jungle I think took a huge hit this patch. I really do. I think she's just not very great. Alright. So we take that down. Oh, he's dead. He is dead. Any chance we died the Countess? Yeah, this game is pretty much over. Not a whole lot they can do. Okay. Honestly, if you're this fed, you really could probably just go Ashbringer second and just play the win more kind of perspective and just Kingsbane into Ashbringer. That's definitely an option as well. Like I said, I'm laying the foundation for the healing with Bonesaw, but I'm not even sure that I need it. I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted, right? I'm so tempted. We'll call that a tactical back. Alright, and now that we have the lifesteal foundation, we go into Ashbringer so we can perma-spam our Q. So... Ooh, enemy triple kill. We're feeding him. We're getting spicy. I mean, I have 11 kills. Like, that's just absolutely ludicrous how strong this is. And granted, this is just one game, right? Like, this is not necessarily going to happen every single game you build Kingsbane, but you get the point, right? Like, it is actually incredibly strong. So, starting on our Ashbringer now, here's the thing with Ashbringer. I want to make sure that I'm explaining the build. So let's talk about it while I have a little bit of time. Kingsbane does a ton of magic damage on hit and gives you a ton of power and good healing. So restore health on hit based on your bonus physical power. So tons of damage, tons of healing, right? Bonesaw gives you a ridiculous amount of health, 600 health, which is the highest that the game, like an item in the game, can give you. And then it gives you lifesteal, 6% lifesteal, some decent power, and then it's got like these damage spikes whenever you press your Q and basically spam a player down. So really, really good sustain and tons of health, so that's good for sustaining yourself and being durable. And so, like I said, setting the foundation for your healing. Now, Ashbringer, it doesn't actually have great stats on it. It's got some pretty good power on it, but we don't really care about the attack speed and the haste that much because we're going to be getting our perma Q from the Ashbringer anyways, but that's what we're using it for. The Ashbringer in this build is literally just a utility item. It just brings you your Q back. That's the only reason we build this. It's the #1 reason we build this. The stats on it, like, it used to have crit, it used to have the Desolate passive on it. It was amazing. It was really, really good. Now it's not as good, but it's still so strong that you just don't ignore it, right? You need it on Khaimera. It's literally like one of the few items in the game that you absolutely have to have on Khaimera. There's like no question, I don't think. Let me see if I can turn this any way that I can maybe catch the Shinbi off guard. Oh, she took so much damage. Yeah. Oh, I should have cleansed. It's all good. Got it. Alright, red buff's up. Carry that into a couple kills. Yeah, I mean, we're just demolishing them, right? We are just demolishing them. So we've ripped through the jungle now. And you can even see the blue numbers. I'm hitting for, you know, 13 to 46 magic damage. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bonus damage on everything I do. It's just so much damage. It's crazy. Kingsbane, and we'll even look at the stats. I'll remember this game to look at the stats at the end of the game so you can see how much extra damage I'm getting from Kingsbane. It's actually just so silly. The amount of sustain and power and damage this item has is just absolutely ludicrous. All right, I think we can actually rip this down a pretty considerable amount before anybody has any response to it. Because he's a carry and I'm a Khaimera. All right, we ripped the tower down. Don't want to stick around too long. And there's the GG. So didn't even get all the way to the Ashbringer, didn't get to the Draconum, and like I said, 5th slot item is pretty open, but this build is absolutely, it has to be considered the meta build. So I was wrong. I reached for Mutilator to go back to an old build, didn't recognize the strength of Kingsbane, but I'm here to eradicate that issue and to show it to you now. This is the path that I'm taking with Khaimera for now. Probably going to do something similar on Grux as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. So I did, oh, we have the audio bug. Hey, okay, anyways. I don't know if that'll stop, but that's really annoying. Anyways, I did I can't think, dude. I did total damage was 12,500. I did 9,900 physical damage, but I did 2,500 damage to with magic damage, which is like, that's a lot. 2.5k out of a total 12.5 is a lot of free magic damage. Okay, I gotta get out of here. Friends, drop a like on the video, subscribe for future predecessor content. As always, be sure to be kind of one of them. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you in the next video.